boy.
Not what I wish I had.
White lightning.
Straight
I knew kids that have that. Have you ever seen it?
No.
That's where I learned how to do that.
Ready to go. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. If you would stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Bruce.
Here.
Kalineski.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Scarra. Here. Williams.
Here.
Machinsky.
Here.
Okay, on tonight's consent agenda, or I'm sorry, the meeting agenda, under communications and announcements, item A, you have in your packet a letter dated August 26th from Tamara Buswinka, Filer Township US 31 Commercial Corridor Planning Committee Chair, to the Filer Township Planning Commission. Also, item B, you have a copy of a letter dated 8/27/15 from Tamara Buswinka, Filer Township US 31 Commercial Corridor Planning Committee Chair, to the Filer Township Zoning Administrator. Department and committee reports. You have item A, you've got the Wade Trim monthly report, and if you look at the first page of that report, you can see that Mike and Pat have been very, very busy the past month, accomplished quite a bit. Item B is the fire department report. Item 1 is consideration of approval of presented clinical experience affiliation agreement between the Charter Township of Filer and West Shore Medical Center. Item C is the Office of the Zoning Administrator's report. Item D is the Planning Commission minutes and report. Item E, Building and Grounds Committee minutes and reports, and under that we have item 1 is a review of 2111 Nelson Street repair bids, and you had a number of bids in your packet, and I put 3 or 4 more bids up in front of your name plates this afternoon. So there's quite a few bids there to review, covering roof work, window and door work, electrical, and tree trimming. Item F is the Elections Committee report. Item G is the PEG report. H is the DDA report, and I is the sewer project. Under new business, item A is a review of Charter Township of Filer disposal of equipment policy dated October 4th of '05. Item B is consideration of approval of the presented resolution, Portage Lake Channel repairs. Item C is consideration of approval of proposal from Communication Solutions dated July 15th of 2015 to provide upgraded telephone equipment to the for the Township Hall, which will be compatible with the current partner system at a cost of $950 plus shipping. Item D is consideration of approval of the presented hazard mitigation plan adoption resolution. Are there any additions to the agenda or any concerns? Okay. Motion by Cruz.
Second.
Second by Kalineski to approve the meeting agenda. Any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried. On the consent agenda for tonight, item A is the minutes of the rescheduled regular board meeting held August 6th of 2015. Item B is the financial report. C is approval of the Township General Fund expenditures, including the fire department, and those are checks numbered 32684 through 32775. Accounts payable total $27,341.38. Payroll totals $12,778.84 for a grand total of $40,120.22. And then there are 3 e-payments in the amount of $3,818.22, bringing the grand total to $43,938.44. Item D is approval of Water Department expenditure, checks 2156 through 2164, totaling $42,170.97. Item E is approval for Township Board members to attend the 12th Regional Summit on September 17th at the Norman Township Community Center at a cost of $15 per person. Item F is approval for Planning Commission members to attend the Michigan Association of Planning, titled Planning Michigan 2015 Annual Conference in Detroit during the month of September at a cost of $350 per person, plus accommodations. And we have 2 addendums to the consent agenda. Item G would be the Fire Appreciation Dinner. Approval for that. And item H is approval for the supervisor to accept bids on the truck tires which have been advertised on Craigslist. Anything else that needs to be added to the consent agenda?
I'll move that we accept the consent agenda.
Support.
Motion by Hachinsky, support by Williams to approve the consent agenda for this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Mr. Lieski, I believe.
People in the back row have got the same intentions I do to try to get an ATV law passed. I talked with your counterpart in Grand Township, and they got their bylaws or ordinance from another township. So he says it's really no big deal. He says if you want a copy of that, he'll gladly give it to you. And Bob Myers lives on the end of the county line. Apparently he works for the Sheriff's Department in Lake County, but that's where he lives. And he would give a really good demonstration or whatever it is.
Yeah. I did speak with Bob Myers, and he did confirm what you just said, that he works in Lake County and got some of the language that they had in Lake County in their ordinances.
Lake County, that's what it was.
And working with Grant Township on their ordinance for ORVs. They're currently working on that. And he did do a presentation for Grant Township, and from what I understand, it was a very good presentation, informational, and he said he would be willing to do that for us. I guess it's going to have to go through our planning commission because they deal with ordinance changes and so forth. But
I had talked with Bob Rakowski about that.
Yeah.
And he says it took us 6 weeks. He said as soon as we had this copy of these ordinance laws, which is all pretty straightforward stuff, he says, because I said it could possibly take Christmas time or better, he says, it shouldn't have to take that long.
Well, we have I don't know what their procedure is for doing ordinance changes. We have a procedure that we follow, and I would defer to Shirley to comment on that because she's our representative on the planning commission. But It's quite involved. It does involve, what, an initial...
Well, it depends, are we talking about a police power ordinance? It wouldn't be a zoning thing, wouldn't think.
No, it would be, I believe it would fall under the police power ordinance category, but haven't got that far into it yet, to be certain. I did talk with our county sheriff. I had told you I wanted to talk with Mason County Sheriff. I have not discussed that with him in terms of whether they have any issues with it, but I did talk with our sheriff, and he said they've not had any issues with the townships that have passed the ordinance. And I believe I know at least 3 and maybe 4 that have, that allow
Arcadia,
that.
Onekama, Norman, and the Wellston area, and I don't know where the 4th one would be.
Yeah, like I say, there's either 3 or 4, and I did bring it up at the countywide MTA meeting, which was last week, Wednesday, and they kind of confirmed, those that have the ordinance said they haven't had any issues with it either. So Shirley, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Well, if it's a police power ordinance, there is a procedure, and it would go to the planners, because they do that for us instead of us doing it as a township board. And they would hold a public hearing.
Right.
It would be published, and then it would come back to the township board for introduction, and then for approval. So for us, it does take months, because we're
Okay.
a charter township.
Yeah,
We have like an added layer.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, Roger. The fact that, Grant, I don't believe is a charter township, and we are a charter township, so our procedures are a little bit different.
I don't think there's that much going on really in Grant Township. They don't have the companies and industries you got here to deal with, where they're just basically out in the country.
Right. Yeah, they're a common law township,
Okay.
so the procedures they have to follow is not as extensive and
Okay.
detailed as what we have to follow, but like Shirley said, there is an introduction, a public hearing introduction to the board, then it goes back to the Planning Commission, I believe, and then it comes back to the board for final approval, and with meetings held once a month, you can do the addition.
Christmas time.
Yeah, so, but, we have not discussed it as a board. Really, you brought this up at our last board meeting, and that's the first that we've been confronted with that since, I don't know when it was brought up, long before my time here. And so, I've talked with a few board members just on the side individually, and I don't see a lot of opposition to it.
Good.
But it would have to go to the Planning Commission.
Got to go through the channels.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment tonight?
I have a question.
Yes.
On the new business coming up, what is this resolution, Portage Lake Channel repairs? What's the governmental division that's responsible for the Army Corps of Engineers would normally take care of that, and there has been extensive erosion and filling in and so forth in that channel, which threatens the viable use of it with larger sailboats and that sort of thing. And they're trying to get support to get funding from the Army Corps of Engineers to get that job done. And they've run into some roadblocks. So what they're asking for support from the other townships, because it really it not only affects their economy drastically, but it affects the economy of the entire county to some extent. And so that's what it is. It's just a resolution giving our support Anyone else? Any other public comment? Okay, then moving into the committee reports, unless you have anything on the water department report, we'll move right on to the fire department. And Ron, you want to take over?
So busy month again last month. Of course, they've all been busy months this year. We had 31 calls for service this month. 24 of those were medical calls. We had 2 vehicle crashes. We had 1 man who was stuck on a roof. 2 power lines down. 1 fire alarm and 1 false alarm. I'd like to thank the board members that were able to attend the meeting yesterday at the fire station. I know all the firefighters had a really good time, and they really enjoyed meeting you and be able to interact with you and get out on the trucks and go for a little ride. So thank you again, and you're all welcome anytime during the year that you want to come back. You're more than welcome to come any Monday. If you can't make it on a Monday, give me a call. We'll have you come over another day of the week. Excuse me. Upcoming events at the fire station. Fall is a busy time for us. This year we have that September 12th, we have that 5K race that's benefiting the fire department, that's being put on by PCA and Filer Credit Union. So you see us around there as well, a couple of the apparatus that are going to be out providing safety for the runners. On the 26th we have Kmart Safety Day. You'll see some trucks over there. We usually do a blood pressure clinic and talk to people about safety, have some handouts there at Kmart, and that's probably going to be from like noon to 3. September 30th, we'll do Fire Truck Day at Madison School. We take our engine over there and our rescue truck, and all the kids come out through class at a time and are able to look in the vehicles. We show them some of the equipment, the inside of the ambulance, and explain to them some of the things that we do. And we usually have a handout, a little coloring book and stuff that we give to them. October 10th this year, the Firefighters Association is not doing a fire prevention week at MCC. Each department is doing their own, so we'll be having an open house at the fire station on the 10th. So we're going to invite everyone out. We're going to put signs up in that so that people know what's going on and they come over, and we'll have some games for the kids and some educational things, a couple giveaways, and show people our apparatus in our building. Then on the 11th is the appreciation dinner put on by the Township Board for the firefighters. And then on the 31st, on Saturday, we will have once again have the Halloween parade lined up on 23rd Street at 4:30 in the afternoon, and the parade starts at 5. So we got a busy next couple months, but we enjoy it. It's all fun stuff, and we enjoy doing that a lot. That's all I have as far as my report, and then we have the other item on the agenda, which is that
Ron, before we get into that, excuse me, before we get into that, what time, what hours are you having your open house on the 10th?
we have not set those hours yet.
Okay, all right, you'll let us know.
We will be probably going to have a sign out at the fire station as far as what those hours are going to be. They're going to be like 11 to 4, 11 to 3, 11 to 4.
Okay.
We're going to finish organizing our events before that and see exactly what times we're going to have it. Do you have any other question? Okay. We have the clinical experience affiliation agreement with West Shore Medical Center that we presented to the board last month. That we need, in order to hold our medical class, we need to have this approved so that our students can do their clinicals on the ambulance at the hospital. Jim, our lead instructor, Jim Henderson, is here. He is more familiar with this than I am as far as explaining any of it. He's dealt with the state of Michigan on all this as far as our inspection, and made sure that with Tammy Forbush, who was the person from the state of Michigan that did our inspection and went through this. In order to hold our medical class, we need to have this approved by the board. So I know I talked to Shirley about some questions that she had, and if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to bring them up now, and Tom, or Jim will answer them, or I will. The contract was written, the agreement was written by Richard Wilson. He is our attorney as well as West Shore Medical Center, and it's written to protect both parties. Liability-wise, each student is required to provide proof of their insurance from their fire department. These are all members of township fire departments, so they all are protected or covered by workers' compensation and liability insurance from their township government, because this is a class that is approved for by the fire department.
So he's your clinical coordinator, Jim?
Yes.
And he's licensed by the state?
Yes, he's an instructor coordinator.
I hold a paramedic license as well as an EMS instructor coordinator license from the state of Michigan. So, 2 licenses.
A lot of paperwork in here, looks like.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Do we have the ability to keep up on that?
The paperwork?
Yeah.
Yes. Jim is gone. Go ahead. Yeah, you go right ahead and you do the.
The clinical agreement that we're actually looking at right now will actually not start or even be effective the township till next year. This is for West Shore Medical Center for the ER clinicals. That is required by an EMT program. The program we are holding this year is what we call an EMR, or Emergency Medical Responder, formerly known as a Medical First Responder program. We're not required to do clinicals for that program this year, but at the same time we're trying to certify our site as an EMT level program site, so in the future we may hold EMT programs. This came out of a need since the local hospital is no longer providing EMS education for the first responders in our community. So as a fire association, we wanted to establish an EMT site program so we could do our own programs. And Filer Township Fire Department was just a very nice facility to do that since it was already certified before. Once the site gets certified, as far as the paperwork goes, everything should flow rather easily. As long as every 3 years we continue to re-up our clinical agreements with West Shore, all the other paperwork's in place as far as exposure policies, clinical policies. I have a book about this thick that I've made over the last 6 months that should make the keeping up on this site rather seamless. And I will be overseeing that to keep it up to date. As Chief Kotowski stated, all the students will be covered under their own township's liability. They'll need to present that before they can do clinicals. And as I said, this first class that I'll be holding on the 14th of September will not actually require clinicals. This is for next year's class. We're just getting everything in place so we can move forward with that. They won't let us certify it without this in place, even though we're not doing an EMT program class till next year.
Even though we don't need this class, the state is requiring us to have it before they'll let us hold this class.
Yeah, we're holding a lower level class.
Which is confusing to me, but that's what the state is requiring.
They just want you guys to have
Sure. They want to.
facility, huh?
Well, they don't. If we were just going to run first responder classes, we wouldn't even need to talk to the hospital. We're not required to do clinicals. But in the future, we do want to pull the EMT level programs, so that's why we are going for the EMT level site program site. So that in the future, when we do want to hold an EMT class for local first responders, we have the availability to. That's why we applied for the license program site we did.
About the tuberculosis test, X-ray, and the HPV.
What that is we actually have an exposure policy, which I got to Shirley last night. And before any students are actually able to even leave or go on a clinical experience, we have a checklist at our station that they all have their TB tests done within the before they start within this month. They also have to have their up-to-date vaccination records before they go on any clinical experience. We have actually, I apologize, I did not bring a copy of the checkoff sheet, but there's a list with their names on it, their contact information. No, sir, it's that blue binder I made. Every student has their own, and there's a checkoff sheet. And if they don't have all those things checked off, they're not allowed to go. And that was actually based off West Shore Medical Center's list, which is in the back here, to cover our bases and cover their requirements.
What's this costing us as a township?
What is what?
What's this all gonna cost us as a township that we're being a sponsor?
Nothing.
The hours and my wages as an instructor are paid by the County Fire Association. Each township puts in so much money to pay for fire and EMS classes every year.
How many departments in the county have this?
We cover all the departments. We are the County Fire Association.
West Shore Medical Center used to provide this education. They're not doing that anymore. In order to train medical responders, the Firefighters Association had to start doing the classes ourselves. We will be the first site that has this certification. Manistee Township is also going to become a site, and I think Norman Township
Is a site.
is a site as well.
The cost of the township will be
3 locations.
the lights, the electricity to power the lights for the students to be there. Two of Filer Township personnel are in it. It's for the county. It's for all the firefighters, and it's sponsored by the County Fire Association. All my wages, all the instructor wages are paid for by the County Fire Association. All the equipment was purchased by the county.
Everything is paid for by the county firefighters.
We just need your physical building, and that's why we programmed the site. It's such a, it was certified before, so we knew it met all the ADA compliance issues and AV requirements for PowerPoints and TVs and things like that.
Typically the class, an EMR class costs $650.
Around, yeah.
Okay, we're putting on this class, the Firefighters Association is putting on the class, and the townships are only going to pay $300 a person to take the class. Now we have, since we're the site location where it's being held, we're going to give one student free. So we only have to pay for one student because that's where the class is all going to be held.
How many students do you?
We have currently enrolled 16. If all goes well, as of November 19th, you'll have 16 new first responders going to the state to take to the National Registry to take their test and hopefully be licensed.
There'll be 16 additional medical people in Manistee County.
Yep, and hopefully next year, if we run our EMT program, there'll be 16 more EMTs in the townships helping out their township as well.
So basically, we're doing this, you get to use our building.
Right, it gives us 2 additional medical people for our department. And it's so beneficial for all the townships because the class typically costs $650, we're doing it for $300. And after you pay the $650, what does the National Registry cost us?
$65.
So there's another, this would be $365. In addition to that it would cost, so it would be $685.
We're including that in the cost for the townships.
And that's all included in the cost, in the $300 that the townships charge to send their students. So, by the Firefighters Association we're saving each township quite a bit of money.
Now, were these the classes that in the past have been held, at one time, like an all-day or 2-day at the casino?
No, sir, that's Winterfest. That's a nonprofit that we do EMS education to keep medically licensed people up on their license. As like a paramedic, I have to get 45 credit hours every 3 years to keep my license. Chief Gutowski as an EMT has to get 30. That is Winterfest, which we do to provide those hours of instruction to keep your license. This is an initial education course.
Winterfest is a nonprofit, 501c3 corporation. Jim and I both sit on the board of directors for that. And that, again, it's all done at a cost basis. We charge only what it costs us to put on the classes.
We are not paid.
And we are not paid, and that's...
We're trying to keep it as cheap as possible with the greatest benefit to each department and each township.
So all the paperwork stays right at the fire station?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We'll have a locked cabinet there.
We get a little bit more stuff in the paper too, about Fowler Township.
Well, I would imagine we would get a little positive PR out of it. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions of Jim or Ron? Shirley, I know you talked with Richard about this, but it's been some time ago. Is there anything else that you
I
wanted
don't,
to-
if I talked to Richard, it was a good month ago, and I
Yeah.
honestly don't, I had more questions for Jim about the record keeping and all.
Yeah.
So we ironed all of those out.
Gotta be okay with Richard, he wrote it up.
Yeah.
Pay him another $200.
Well, by
to say
way of
yes.
explanation, I think you were mean, right? Yeah.
Well, if there are no other questions then, we need to take action on this, I believe, this evening.
I'll make the motion that we go along with this agreement. I had all my questions answered.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion by Cruz, second by Kalineski to approve the clinical experience affiliation agreement between Fowler Township and West Shore Medical Center. Is there any other discussion? Okay, Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Kalineski,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Machinsky,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Walker.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, and I thank you guys.
Every township in the town, thank you.
And once we get the classes going, I would invite you guys to stop in and check it out. We'll be having classes every Monday and Thursday evening, starting September 14th at the fire department in the room there. And we'd love to have you stop by and just, check it out and see what we're doing in there. So, if you're going to check it out.
Thank you.
Jim, I'm sorry, you said starting September 14th?
Of this month, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then how often? Every
Every Monday and Thursday, sir.
Monday and Thursday?
For how many
Every-
weeks?
For 9 weeks, from 6 to 10 p.m.
I can provide you with the schedule.
Would you please, Ron?
And I'd be great to have any of you guys stop in and check
Yeah,
it
I'd be
out.
interested in
I
just
would
stopping
show
in.
you guys
And
more about it.
so if you give us a schedule, it'd be
take one of
great.
our classes someday.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great night.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Ron. Let's see, where are we? Zoning administrator. You've got your copy of Lynn's report in your packet, and again, continues to be some activity in the township. And item D, the Planning Commission, you've got your minutes, and both from the public hearing of August 18th as well as the regular meeting of August 18th. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to either of those sets of minutes?
Only to say that Civic Club is an ongoing process here. We're going to readdress that at this month. More information needed to go for it.
Right.
They have quite a lot to do, though.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have someone get in there, though, don't you think?
It'd be-
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be real nice to have, better than having it empty.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And unfortunately, after the public hearing of the Planning Commission, I had two residents from Fowler City that talked to me that were in favor of it, but one spouse was very, very sick and they couldn't attend, and the other one was not able to attend either. So, we did hear
There was some opposition.
there was some opposition, but
Well, they're
like I
coming
say,
back with a site plan.
Right.
Drawn up a site plan, which they didn't have in the beginning. So that's where we're starting off with that.
okay, thank you. Item E, Building and Grounds Committee. You've got the minutes in your packet, along with a whole lot of bids. And there's a lot of work to be done.
at 2111 Nelson Street. John has made a lot of progress. He's got basically all the rooms upstairs are pretty well cleaned out now. There's just a few items left in there. He said he's just about ready to start ripping up carpeting. Today when I stopped by, he was in the basement working, and the basement's pretty much all of that's got to be tackled yet, and that's going to take some time, but we're at a point where probably first and foremost we need to get a new roof on that structure to prevent further deterioration, and then we need to look at new electrical service before the roof goes on. In addition to the roof, windows and doors. But before we start that process, we want to get some trees trimmed there that have some very large branches, some mature oak trees that could be a threat. And so those we want to get taken care of first, but however you want to pursue these bids, in my packet I have the bids I have on top are the roof repair bids, and then I think I have windows and doors next. Or no, I got electric. Yeah, so whatever. Let's take the roof repair bids first.
We got 3 bids there?
Yes, and we have, in the roof repair bids, you have 2 bids from Lesage. One is for a metal roof, one is for a shingle roof. Their bid on the metal roof is for $23,254. And their bid on the shingle roof is for $14,997.43.
It's what? Elwood, 14 what?
$14,997. You should have that bid in your packet there, Ed.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
And then we had a bid, another bid from a builder in Buckley by the name of Christopher Gillette, which is for a metal roof also. And that's the handwritten one. Now wait a minute, I'm sorry, that's not for a metal roof, that is for a shingled roof. That's for a shingled roof, and that bid is for $23,000.
There's a metal roof here for $9,850 from AS Construction, our roll.
Yes, and then AS Construction, that's a metal roof. That was discussed at Building and Grounds, and there were some issues with some of the roofs that we've seen that he's done, and the Building and Grounds Committee was not in favor of, even though that's a low bid, they were not in favor of that. There's a roof they did at 172 Nelson Street that you can look at. One of the things with their work is that all of the clips and connections and that sort of thing are exposed, where with the others they're hidden. And then another roof bid we had was from Manistee Vinyl Products. That was in the amount of $18,500.
That was for a shingle.
And that was for a shingled roof. And then one other bid we had, I'm sorry, I think that's it on the roofs. Yes, that's it on the roofs.
Okay, so how many?
So we have basically 4 different bids there from 3 different contractors. And I guess I would say this, that we asked Bob Skira to get these bids, which he did. He There were probably, I'm going to guess, at least 2 to 3 other contractors I know that he requested bids from. I know of one local contractor, in fact, that actually went and took measurements and talked to him about it and was going to submit a bid but did not. Some other contractors just said they're just too busy at this time that they can't, they couldn't take it on. Probably partly because we want to get that done this month at the latest, preferably last month, but ideally within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I know in what we discussed at Building and Grounds, and Ed can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I know the bid that the Building and Grounds Committee talked a lot about was the bid from Lesarge, simply from the standpoint, experience with his work has been very, very good work, very dependable, reliable, quality work.
He's done work for the township before?
He hasn't, well,
No.
not to my knowledge, he hasn't, no.
It's the time that it's time that there's no waiting time for just a little bit, remember?
Well, I think that was the other thing Bob said, that he would be able to get to it this month.
Yeah.
And I know he did a job, I think, for you guys that was very,
For you, Ruth?
Yeah, he did some
Very
work
good.
at our house and we were
Yeah.
happy with him.
and Ed, you said you were familiar with his work. So I don't know this company at all. In fact, the only one that I do know of these is Manistee Vinyl Products. Of course, they're the ones that did our ramp out here for the dumpsters. But that's a very high bid, and I know that Matt told Bob, he said, I don't know when I can get to it. He's very, very busy. I guess we kind of need to not only look at those bids, but also look at whether we would be further ahead with a metal roof or a shingle roof. Looking at the bids, there's not a huge difference in cost between metal and shingle roofs. Pardon me?
There sure is. This bid here from Dar Road for $98.50 for a steel roof.
Yeah. And that's the one, Tom, that I said, and it's got an X on it. The Building and Grounds Committee, we're not crazy about the work they had seen them do. And so they crossed that off, even though it was a low bid. That's why there's the X through it.
Well, because the next thing I was saying, do we want to go with a steel roof or do we want to go with asphalt?
Right, that's I think we need to maybe make that decision before we make a decision on the bids.
How much on the metal roof?
Well, Lesarge's bid on a metal roof was $23,254.
23?
Yes.
23,254.
I got my bids mixed up here.
And I think, help me out here, I thought we had another bid on metal, but,
Well, see, I thought this one for 23,000 was metal, but it says on here shingles.
yeah,
I thought that was
Which one,
supposed
Ruth?
to be metal, this handwritten one?
Yeah, I don't have that.
it should be in your packet there,
Yeah, I looked.
or in the,
Are
what
you
was
talking
put
about
down.
this one?
Yes, the handwritten one, yes.
I don't know, I ended up with extra, so I don't know. Let me see if I
Trim
can,
fasteners, lumber, synthetic underlayment dumpster.
here, I'll take this one. I don't know where it came from, but
This is from who?
That's the Buckley one. If you
Yes.
know it's got Bob's name on it, that's a Buckley one.
Yeah, that's from Buckley, a builder in Buckley. And that one's for $23,000, but,
I thought Bob had said
well,
that
it
was for
says,
metal.
yeah, it does say,
It
the
says
very first
metal,
sentence, concealed fastener, metal roof. So that is a metal roof. And that one's in the amount of $23,000. Bob got that bid. He does not know the builder. I don't know him, nor have I heard of him, but
Well, it gives you some idea that these two are
Right.
right in the ballpark.
Right, they're in the ballpark. They're both 23,000. And I think those are the only two that we have for metal roofs. The others are for shingle roofs. And, you know, the one bid on the shingle roof of 18.5 really is not much savings over these two metal roofs at 23,000. Lesarge did put a bid in for a shingle roof as well at 14,997. So, you know, we've basically got those two shingle roof bids to look at and two metal roof bids to look at. Personally, you know, the location with the large oak trees, there's a lot of moss on that roof right now. That will continue to be an issue with all the shade there unless we remove the trees, and I'm not sure we want to do that. And then the other consideration is the lifespan of the metal roof versus the shingle roof. I know one of these shingle bids talked about 30-year shingles, and
That means 20.
yeah, well, and I don't know if the other one, I know they make 50-year shingles now. Both shingle bids are for 30-year shingles. I know they make 50-year shingles now, but again, whether they really hold up for 50 years or not, who knows?
Some of these shingles now are supposed to not have the moss growing on them. They've got some additive in them that they're not supposed to. But seeing as how we're cutting trees, we're gonna allow some sunlight in there.
That's gonna help.
You know, I guess we gotta really consider what that whole building is gonna cost us.
Yeah.
You know, boy, we could.
Put a lot of money in there.
Well, yeah, and if you looked at the other bids for electrical and everything and windows and doors,
We haven't got that.
and no, but we've got bids for that. And then we don't have bids yet for the cleaning, you know, professional cleaning service, so.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I'm open to whatever. You know, a metal roof is a very good looking roof and should hold up a long time and not have a lot of issues, but you know, we're looking at what, about $4,000 to $5,000 more for a metal roof.
So how long is
No,
that
I'm
metal
sorry, we're
roof?
looking at about $9,000 more.
How long is that metal roof gonna last, do you think?
I don't know, don't they claim about a 50-year lifespan for a
The
metal
paint
roof?
wears out before the roof does.
Yeah.
Okay, so $23,000,
Yeah,
And
and it's gonna last you 50
There's probably
years.
different grades of
metal.
steel.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's nothing here telling me
What grade is
any
it?
kind of gauge.
Right.
And I wouldn't know anyhow.
No, yeah, the only thing is it does give us the shingles, and both bids are 30-year shingles, which kind of surprises me that they don't have the 50-year shingles in that bid, but, because I know the last two roofs that I had done in the last year, had two done, and both of those were done with 50-year shingles, but I won't be around in 50 years to see if they really last that long.
What did you write down there, Cheryl?
She's figuring,
How many dollars a year this roof will cost you?
Well, there's how much difference?
But
I think it's going to be a wash when you look at the
Yeah.
lifespan and the
Pretty
price
close,
difference.
yeah.
It's pretty much going to be a wash. So, you know, I guess right now, if we look at the upfront cost, certainly the shingle roof is going to save us about $9,000 on that building.
It ain't a cover job where he's gonna cover, is it?
No. Everything's going to come off, and they've got quite a bit of repair work to do before they
New
re-roof
lumber
it.
for the repair.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some rafters scabbed in or completely replaced,
Yeah, I
and then
looked
there's
where
got to
that
be a
was
lot
burned.
there's going to be some decking replaced,
You know
a
it?
fair amount. Pardon me?
I looked at some of them trusses where it was burned, and them trusses don't look burned. I'm always thinking it was burned, but it was rotted away.
Right.
They didn't look bad,
Well,
right in that area.
You're talking about over the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not bad until you get out to the tails,
Yeah.
and then they're probably gonna have to do some scabbing in of 2x there. But there's quite a bit of decking that's gonna have to be replaced, and I know one of them talks about rotted spots, approximate size. There's 2 on the garage, a 10 by 12 foot section that'll have to be replaced, and a 25 by 5 foot section replaced. And then on the house, there's 2 sections that they're looking at that probably need replacing at 8 foot by 6 foot and 5 foot by 8 foot.
I think in a matter of economics for the township, I think we should go with I'd like to make a motion to go with a shingle roof.
With a 30 or 50-year warranty.
Because we're looking at, with windows, we're talking about 23,000 is for that.
I'll second that motion. So we've got a motion by Hachinsky, a second by Walker, just to decide to put on a shingle roof as opposed to a metal
So you're
roof.
not making a motion for anybody's bid here?
No.
Not yet.
Is there further discussion? We've had quite a bit of discussion. Anything else that you want to throw in? Anyone?
Does this roof, I mean, won't it be like our major expense? Will it be our most expensive?
It's one of them.
It's one of about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
The electrical's going to be quite expensive.
We're gonna put windows and doors in.
Yeah.
And we haven't even started refurbishing the inside with linoleum or carpeting or whatever.
Right. Right. Del, do you have a
I just
comment?
have a question. What is this building going to be?
Right now, we're looking at office
Water
spaces.
department.
Water department, future sewer,
Offices.
yeah,
Building 2.
yes.
That's worth about
I'm just
160,000.
curious. Otherwise, I thought green space is good.
Okay, if there's no other comments or discussion, we have a motion to put a shingle roof as opposed to a metal roof on the house at Nelson Street. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Now we need to,
Who's that from? What contractor?
We didn't have a contract.
so now we need to
gotta
look
vote
at
on that
the
next.
2 bids. Well, basically, we're down to 2 bids after those that were eliminated by Building and Grounds. We have 2 bids for a shingle roof. A bid from Lesarge Construction in the amount of $14,997.43. And gives a pretty detailed description of what all that incorporates. And then you also have a bid from Manistee Vinyl Products in the amount of $18,500, and it's not quite as explicit in terms of what all that includes, more in generalities but not specifics. And those are basically the 2 bids that we're looking at, I guess.
Well, the charge is lower anyway.
Yes.
Yes, and Lesarge has the time to do it.
Right. Manistee Vinyl, like when he done the ramps, we waited forever for
Yeah,
him.
well, and he told
And he's not
Bob,
in no hurry.
No, he's very busy right now.
yeah, he told Bob he's extremely busy and he wouldn't be able to get to it right away. So,
And we might be till spring before.
no, we don't want to wait.
No, we don't want to wait.
No, I mean if we went that way.
Oh,
Well, I'd like a motion that we accept the bid for
From Melissa.
$14,000. Might say 15,000.
1,000, yeah.
I'll second that motion.
okay, we have a motion from Hachinsky to accept the bid from Lesarge Construction for a new shingle roof in the amount of $14,997.43, and a second by Skira. Any further discussion? Okay, Shirley, call the roll, please.
Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yeah.
Kaczynski,
Yeah.
Scarrow,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Cruz.
Yeah.
Can we stop and go back a minute? Are they gonna put in on the overhang, the fascia boards with Lazards?
That, yeah, it's on there. It's on his bid, yeah.
All on,
The second page?
I think it's on the second page, I think.
Yeah.
it will be also.
Soffit and fascia repair.
Soffit will be repaired, fascia if needed.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing I have in my pile here are the bids for electric service. And we have,
Are we gonna table the windows and doors?
oh, no, we can do that before, if you'd like to do that before.
And you only have one bid there.
We have two, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and do windows and doors next. You have a bid, again, from Lesarge and a bid from Manistee Vinyl. Manistee Vinyl's bid is for windows, removing all existing windows, installing new Simonton 5500 series vinyl replacement windows, trim them inside and out. That bid is in the amount of $20,900.
21, right?
And then we have a bid from Lesarge Construction. That bid is for all vinyl windows, white windows with insulated glass. And I forgot to ask Bob about that. I don't know if you know what it is, Ruth. The door steel with composite jambs and sill. That the numbers that are before that. When I talked to Bob this afternoon, I meant to ask him about that, and I forgot what that is. But anyway, it's a new door. Includes removal of windows and door, and installation of the new, basically maintenance-free windows.
Which door is that?
The main door or the side door?
I'm assuming it's the main front door.
Yeah.
Because we're probably going to need to make that ADA compliant.
How about the other two doors?
The two garage doors,
Actually, two other service doors plus the regular garage door too.
Regular.
yeah, we don't, that's the one thing I happened to think about today on these bids. We didn't, none of them addressed the garage door, and must have just been an oversight on Bob's part to get a bid on that.
But it does close.
It closes, but we're going to have to have that. We're going to have that replaced.
Go to like overhead door, then door service in Ludington, and they what's it called?
Yeah.
We could do that on a different bid. too.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be
yeah,
a different bid.
So this doesn't include the garage door, and in the one door, I'm not sure if it's talking about the front
that one
service
that's in
door
the
of the garage
package
or
area.
the front main door.
Jerry, what's that door that was in the package yet?
Yeah, we can't, the door's only.
Oh, that was
That's
a
a
small door.
storm door.
Yeah.
It's a storm door, yeah.
For one of the people doors.
Garage door, we can worry about that later, can't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we delay even making a motion on this and bundle that all together? 3 outside doors in the garage door and the windows, and see if we can get a better package doing it all at one time.
What kind of,
Okay, we won't be able to take action on it till October meeting. And then we'll want to get them in ASAP at that point. You know,
well, what did
can we?
Sarge give us for a number?
I believe we budgeted so far, out of our budget, we went to a certain amount of money
Well,
that we were gonna spend.
we made a transfer already.
Yeah, we'll
right?
have to do another.
Well,
When we made that, you know, we didn't know what we would need.
we've
Right.
already got up to,
Right. I don't have a problem with that, Tom. I understand it makes a lot of sense to do that, to incorporate the garage door and find out if this door that they're talking about there is the main entrance door, or if it's that front garage door. My only concern is the time and get it done.
if we can get a bid and act on it at the October meeting and he's available to do that, it's, you know, that's probably going to be maybe a week and a half, 2 week max to do all the windows and doors.
So it's gonna probably be
Depends how many minutes puts on
it's
it.
gonna be 7 or 8 days up on that roof, at least.
Yeah.
Replacing roof and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
I don't know.
But they
how
can put
we
doors
prove
in
that, but-
cold weather, can't they?
Yeah.
Sure they can.
Yeah, they
Sure
can.
they can. Yeah. I'm just thinking about, well, and I guess, you know, we can close everything up and everything's protected. So yeah, we could do that, take bids, get these bids
It'll still
redone
be nice in October.
for the October
anyways.
meeting, and, well, it's good enough that we can get them done, and then incorporate the garage door at the same time.
The front door, the 2 garage.
We've already spent over 20-some thousand for 2 projects.
Well,
Well, you ain't done yet, so.
Huh? And we're just getting phased in.
And I guess the other thing, then, we gotta look at those 2 garage doors, whether they really need to be replaced or just tuned up a little bit. You know, I don't know if it's because of all the dampness and that, they really stick right now, and if they can be
I think.
repaired, if we wanna go with a whole new jam and door and everything. I guess that's something we can look at when we get bids.
and have them look at it, see if they can't
Right.
repair
Okay? Is everybody in agreement with that, then, that we'll
Yep.
come back with another set of bids for windows and doors and garage door?
them. Because
Did
they're
you get some
gonna
on
be
the
up on the roof
mechanical?
as well.
Terry, did you get bids on the mechanical? Like the electrical and plumbing?
Yeah, that's next. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
electrical.
Your electric bids, we have 3 of those. One from Galaxy Electric in Bear Lake, one from Paradigm in Bear Lake, and one from Superior Electric in Ludington.
Take Superior out. I think they done some work for us on them pump houses once and it wasn't very, no workmanship.
Well, and we're dealing with some of those electrical issues now in our pump houses,
Yeah, but it just,
and maybe that's why, huh? I'm not familiar with either Superior or Galaxy, and the only experience I have with Paradigm is
weed and trim.
I bought some electrical components from them for the cabin, and he was, you know, very accommodating for me. And then that's neither here nor there. The big thing, I think, is the issues we've had with our well houses, electrical issues. Mike and Pat have used Paradigm, and basically that's based on Mike's experience with Andy Prine. Andy was with Top Line Electric for quite some time, was one of their top electricians, and then he went off on his own, and the city used him a lot. And Mike, you know, just speaks very highly of him, said you know, everything he did for the city was great. He's done about 3 jobs here for the township now in our well houses, and I talked with him this morning. They're doing some work on well house 3 here with the altitude valve and a couple other things.
What are they giving us anyways?
Well, and so those are the bids we have.
1,600.
There's, you know, those bids, well, Paradigm Electric's bid is, and the big difference in these is that
Each other.
Andy Prine is talking about bringing a line in directly into the basement. And putting underground and putting a box in. And the other 2 are talking about hooking into the electric in the garage, which is, I'm not sure if it's a 50 or a 60 amp box right now. Yeah, and
it's no good.
that's not the way to do that job.
But the other difference too is the generator.
Yes, yeah.
The 8,500, and we don't have to, we could take that part off. And
Right.
Get the generator, maybe we can get a grant.
$2,700 is what
Well, we're not sure we would need a generator over there if all the
I mean, you
water
don't need that 900
equipment
because
doesn't go
that's for
over
the
there.
generator. So you
Right.
can take that
Well, the
8,500.
question is, are we ever going to need a generator there or not? Bob's thought on it was the $900 part would enable us to put a generator in down the road if we wish to. Incorporated in this bid, it's $900. If we have it put in after the fact, Andy told him it would be probably $2,000 or more to add that on later.
Yeah,
And, you know,
Generator.
it would be.
to add the
Like
transfer
the
switch,
generator.
to add the transfer
Oh,
switch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you think we're never gonna need a generator there, then you can take that 900 out and the 8,500 out. The other thing with the 8,500, and I asked Bob about that, and Ed, you probably know our generator out here, isn't that a 5K?
Where that?
The one for the hall here,
Oh.
that we got the grant
Yeah, I
for.
think it is, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and this is for a 22K generator, and I can't imagine why we would need that much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really think we need a generator, unless you were moving all the gauges and everything.
No, that's too
Well,
costly to
Yeah.
We ain't
do.
gonna move none of them.
The
controls.
panel, the water panel in here is gonna stay.
Well, I said we're gonna keep that here. I said the only
Right.
reason why you'd want a generator if that was down in that building.
Well, the only other reason, I guess, would be for some of the same things we talked about here, is if we have a power outage in the winter, pipes freeze, and you get water damage to township records and that sort of thing, to prevent that from happening.
But a 22K generator.
Yeah, and actually, right now, whether we decide to go with this bid and include the transfer switch or not include the transfer switch, I don't think we should include the generator in it at this time.
Agreed.
Take that out.
Agreed.
If you take that out, that brings it down to $3,684. If you take the $900 transfer switch out, that brings it down that much more.
And who's that with?
That's with Paradigm Electric.
14,000.
And then you've got a bid from Galaxy for,
Galaxy's battery.
well, Galaxy's barely, that's 2,600, but again, as I said, that bid and the one from the Superior and Lightington are both going into the old box in the garage, which, and then running,
Well, this is a
then running,
switch in the-
yeah, and then running from there to the panel in the basement.
Well, that's
And
probably
what
already in there.
Andy's talking about, there's a panel in the basement, and what Andy's talking about is going directly,
It's a square D panel.
yeah, directly into the basement underground,
But then
so.
there's a disconnect that comes into the garage from the main
Right,
service, yeah.
right.
I just glanced over there and saw it.
So,
Paradigm looks like their best bargain.
I'll make a motion that we go with Paradigm Electric.
For
Young
the
chick-
labor, the service, the materials, and the
Just installation of
permits,
the service,
and the permits.
Yeah.
no provisions for,
What size service though, Tom? We want about a 200, don't we?
well, that bid is for 200 amp
It's for
service.
200, yeah.
or 200
Which is
amp.
pretty much
So
standard. I think, isn't it?
$2,220.
By the way, has anybody got a Cutler hammer panel here?
No, we're gonna end up paying down below, 564, Shirley.
Plus 564?
Yeah,
For what?
So you're not gonna use it.
that's the 200 amp underground.
Oh, that would be
All right,
nice.
you're not gonna put the switch in or the generator, right?
So 2,884?
Yeah, but here now, it says to upgrade service underground does not include cost for utility to vary underground feeder. I suspect the cost around 1,000. This has paid by the customer. He put 564 for that.
How close is that?
Is that 564 plus $1,000? For a permit or for,
The underground?
yeah.
How much is underground today?
Well, here, 564.
Well, you must have measured it. Is there a pole real close?
No, that's sales
But it does
tax.
say there might be added cost for it.
No, there's no tax on here.
Going down underground.
I'm sorry, Tom,
I'm
what?
sure it will be.
It said there might be added cost. This has to be paid by the customer.
Right.
$1,000 maybe.
Yeah. For the underground.
Right, so
We might be talking 3,700.
Yeah, but,
$500 for what?
yeah. Tom, is your motion for Paradigm with everything except the generator and the transfer switch?
Yes.
Eliminating the transfer switch as well?
Yes.
We don't
Okay.
pay sales tax, do we?
No.
No, it wouldn't be $500 then.
So,
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be 500.
What is that number?
What's that?
Well, I believe
It
it's
would
to
be if we
upgrade
went
that
with 8,000.
underground service.
Oh, that's what that is, huh?
So your motion is for the $1,000 for labor, $1,000 for materials, $220 for permits, and the $564.
If that's what it's gonna cost to bury it and put it in.
So that's a total of $2,884.
Well, we know. for sure
2,784.
2,784. So I suppose probably in the motion, we should make a motion to that effect that we're approving the Paradigm bid as is, with the exception of the transfer switch and the generator. And with the possibility that, or with the added cost of underground.
Actually, that's cleaner that way, instead of just putting in a dollar amount, just to go with the exception.
Yeah. And I'll second that motion.
Who made the motion?
Tom made that motion.
I made that motion.
Have you got the motion?
Yep,
Okay,
we're just going to use the exceptions here.
okay.
Well, that bid should include a new 208 service.
Yes. Yep,
And then a kind of distribution panel, probably square even, I suppose.
I don't know. It doesn't specify.
I wish he would have.
Okay, any discussion, any further discussion on that, on the electrical bid?
We should know what size panel he's gonna give us, Jerry.
How much is it gonna be then, Shirley?
Unknown.
2,784,
With the,
excluding the cost to bury the underground feeder.
No, 2,000.
Shirley, are we ready to vote? Everybody ready to vote? Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Kaczynski,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Caruth,
Yes.
Williams,
Yeah,
Walker,
Yes.
Scarrow.
Yes.
I still think from Paradigm, we ought to find out what size distribution panel he's gonna give us.
I'll put a note on there, Ed.
Breaker panel,
Find out,
and,
yeah.
and name. Because they, like, if they put in something like Federal Pacific, well, they only last 2 years and you gotta put in a new one.
What size and make a breaker panel? Yeah,
Well, you'll be involved with that anyhow, for buildings and grounds.
right.
Yeah, okay.
You can oversee it.
Oh, gee, thanks.
How much we paid for those two containers at that house?
The garbage containers?
Dumpsters?
I don't know. I haven't seen the bill yet.
Garbage dumpsters are over 300, aren't they?
No, these in our new contract, and I looked at it.
143, I think.
143
I think, but I
is what we're
haven't
paying
seen
for
the bill.
these, the 3 leaf dumpsters. I don't know if we get that at the same rate or if it's a different rate. I don't know.
Well, that's a bargain if they were
That's
getting it at.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
bargain.
yeah,
Really?
I was just trying to get a count of how much we got in there.
yeah. We've had it emptied once, and it's about half full again. Okay, the last set of bids that we have here to look at are for the tree trimming. And you should have 2 bids in front of you, one from Schwab in the amount of $840. And a second one from Ernie Sievert Tree Service in the amount of $1,475.
I don't have a shop bid.
You don't have a shop bid? Look at mine.
$840.
840? What was the other one?
You got that?
I ain't got the slip.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you got it there, Ed.
I looked. She ain't got one either.
Do you have one? Okay. I can write this here in.
Here, look at mine, Ed. Just look at mine.
It's easier.
And Bob and I went around with Bruce Shaw and identified the limbs that we wanted removed and a couple of trees, and there were a lot of limbs to be removed. And then and Tom and Dean and I went around also and covered the same things, and then they went around with Ernie Siebert so that we were all talking about the same, you know, basically the same amount of
And
trimming.
another one that we didn't get a bid on.
Pardon me?
And another one, was that DJ's or something tree?
Yeah, he didn't come.
Yeah. So
We didn't get a bid.
one day while I was in Ludington with my wife for physical therapy, I sat there Googling tree service, and there was a lot of them came up, and I saw a number of them like Bear Lake and so on, and I was looking more for more local ones, and there were 2 or 3 that said Manistee, and I started calling those, and I don't know why they had them on listed as Manistee area. The first one that I talked to was from, I think, Dearborn area. And when he said Dearborn, I said, do you do work in Manistee County? And no. And I said, well, that's what it says on your website when I Googled it. And so, yeah, we tried to get 3 bids on this, and we came up with 2. So those
Tom
looking
Lane,
at,
Yeltsin, none of them bid on it, did they?
no.
He can start right away, Schwab?
Yeah, I told him that we want that tree trimming done before we do the roof work, and we want the roof, I said, we want to get the roof work done this month, and he says, oh, you should get started on that roof within 2 weeks, while you still got some warm weather, especially now if we're doing shingles.
I'll make a motion, we accept Schwab Enterprise tree trimming.
I'll second.
Motion by Hachinsky, second by Cruz to accept the bid from Schwab in the amount of $840. Any discussion? I would add that if any of you have forgotten, that's the tree trimmer that we contracted to do the tree trimming around the rec center about a year ago, and he did a really good job for us, and it was a very low bid then there also. So any other discussion? Okay. Shirley, will you call the roll, please?
Williams?
Yes.
Scarra?
Yes.
Paul? Yes. Walker?
Yes.
Kalinowski?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Lachinsky?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on then, item F, the Elections Committee. You've got the minutes from the meeting July 29th in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to that, or Ed?
Nope, election's all done,
Went smooth.
canvassed and all.
Okay, PEG report, monthly report is in your packet again, and Dean or Dale, anything you want to add to that report?
Everything is going good. The biggest thing we need, though, is more people on our paid commission.
Sound like a broken record.
And we have one person who may be coming on board.
Yeah, we might have one more coming on the board. Hopefully, we get another one.
Good.
So anybody that's interested,
Don't everybody jump at once?
Yeah, come on over.
Okay, next item is the Downtown Development Authority, item H, and you've got the minutes in your packet. And the DDA board took action today and made a motion to present to the township board, and Dean, if you want to, do you want to read that motion that they made?
to forward to forward the contract dated 91.15 to the Township Board, recommending approval with the correction required by the attorney to section 2.2 that will address how the township will be reimbursed if the township incurs costs to the treatment of the wastewater due to the City of Manistee's inability to treat the wastewater.
Is that in here?
Okay, yeah, this, I put a copy in front of each of you, and the first thing I'd like you to do is put a date at the top, 9/1-15, because this is about the third or fourth revision, and this is the most updated one. The Ad hoc Sewer Committee met yesterday and dealt with a few more revisions.
Red, please.
And what Dean was talking about in section 2.2, you know, we're looking at being guaranteed capacity in the city's treatment plant of 125,000 gallons of average daily flow. And this addresses what would happen if they couldn't provide that treatment. And as it says here, if all or any part of the guaranteed capacity to treat up to 125,000 gallons average daily flow becomes unavailable to the township for any reason, and they give some examples of those reasons there, the township may seek injunctive relief to compel the city to make the guaranteed capacity available to the township, or the township may seek monetary damages in an amount, and then here says not to exceed and so on. Scratch the not to exceed, the rest of that sentence, and then it's basically what Dean read, not to exceed an amount equal to whatever it costs the township to have that sewage treated elsewhere. If we had to haul it, you know, somewhere for treatment to the tribe's facility or to Cadillac or wherever. So that's the only additional change that needs to be made in this, and what they're proposing that they've accepted that with that one change, and then asking us to do the same.
It's going to be public.
And so we can send this on to the city so they can review it and respond to it. So basically we need a motion to move this on to the city.
Yeah, we sent it on to the city with the changes made in 2.2.
I'll support it.
Support.
Okay, we've got a motion by Cruz, support by Hachinsky to send this contract on to the city for their review and response, and with the change in section 2.2 that was alluded to.
So we're going to approve this presented contract.
Yes.
Just the sending of it there, Shirley.
Yeah.
To the city for their,
Not the contract, but
A change to 2.2
yes,
2.2.
as recommended
by the DDA.
by the attorney, right? It says here,
Yeah, right, by the attorney for the DDA. And I will get that language to Eric Williams. I guess it'll have to be tomorrow morning because he won't be in his office tonight. Do a revision, and then we'll forward that by email
and then
to the city.
send this contract to the city
What the hell is today? Today is Tuesday.
the first
for their
one of the
I
month.
get mixed up.
consideration.
Consideration, rebuttal.
So that's all we're doing is
Starting the process.
saying yes to this language.
Saying yes to this language and see what kind of response we get to kind of start a negotiating process.
Okay.
Okay.
What is this? I thought you were going with the Indian group.
There's been a lot of meetings that have taken place, Betty, and a lot of things that have transpired over the last 3 to 4 months that really we're looking at both options.
You're still weighing both options.
Well, in effect we are. Yeah, we had a meeting, Thursday of last week? What day did we meet with? At Manistee, was that Thursday? We met at Manistee Township, with Manistee Township and the tribe to talk about rates. And there's going to be some more information coming from that meeting in regards to the rates and the incorporation of operation and maintenance for Filer's collection system into those rates. And then we'll see what those rates are going to be. So it's still kind of a back and forth yet a little bit.
Well, did you ever meet with them after they dumped all that millions of gallons of waste into the river?
The city?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met with them and we've met with DEQ. We went to Cadillac. After that, met with DEQ because that was a huge concern of ours. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad group to go with. This township is further ahead going with the Indian organization because the city cannot even control their own waste. And I know, and you know, and all of you have to know, that when Filer Township gets into their sewer system, we're going to be paying everything. And all those contracts between attorneys and all this nonsense is worthless. Because when they start dumping raw sewage, we're going to be stuck with problems. Not the city. The city has been getting out from underneath all their problems all these years.
Yeah. Well, I'd be happy to sit down with you one-on-one, Betty, and there's so much information that we've gathered over the last year or so, and a lot of information that's come to light recently that everybody I talk to has got their opinion. Don't go here, don't go there, and what we're trying to do, we're going through a process to try to come up with what's going to be best for our constituents. We're just trying to do our due diligence, and that's what we've been doing from the very beginning. And like I say, there's so much information that we've gathered through meetings with both the city and the tribe. And I'd be happy to sit down with you.
Relatives that have been in the sewage business for years, they lay out whole projects. Anybody that owns the sewage controls the sewage. You never go in with somebody else's. And with the guy next door, we know that we will be in trouble.
Well, one of the first things we explored, Betty, was the possibility of building our own treatment plant, and economy of scale rules that out. It'd just be way too costly. Our residents would be paying such high sewer rates that nobody would want to be attached to it. And so that leaves us with the option of hooking in with somebody else. And that's where we're at now.
We need to pay attention to the cheapest thing you buy is not necessarily the best buy. Because, and this is one of the things I've always said, that the poor are always picked on because they keep buying cheap junk that they replace many, many times. If they just bought the first good stuff first,
yep,
they wouldn't replace it for years.
I hear what you're saying, and if you heard us deliberate on some of these bids, you saw that we didn't take the lowest bids there either. We, in fact, in a couple of cases, we took substantially higher bids. But yeah, I'd be happy to sit down with you. Come up and we'll sit and chat. Okay.
Somebody make that motion. Is that what Dean did there?
Yes.
Read that?
I don't know now. I lost my...
Yeah, Tom seconded.
Okay.
Just to send it, yeah.
Yeah, Dean made the motion, and Tom seconded to send this on to the city. with that one clarification made on item 2.2.
Okay,
All set?
all set.
Okay, go ahead and call a roll.
Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Ball, yes. Vachinsky.
Yeah.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Kalinowski.
Yes.
Okay, and that, I guess that takes care of item L2 on our business agenda, the sewer project. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Aye.
I'm sorry, item I, yes, thank you.
What's this EMS Academy? Is that?
That is what was given to me last night. Those are more forms that they'll be using for this clinical agreement with the hospital.
Okay, let's go to new business. Item A is review of our township disposal of equipment policy dated October 4th of 2005, which is in your packet, and I had a question on something there. Now, what was it? Okay, and I guess, first of all, anybody have any questions or comments on the policy as it currently exists?
I think it's a good policy.
What are we getting rid of?
Well, we're getting rid of, we have things here, you know, that every so often we get rid of, and we put in the newspaper, and if anybody wants to make a bid on it. We have some things left at that house there.
Oh.
Tires.
And I called Ron Butusky today, if there's anything at the fire department, so we could get it all together and get rid of a bunch of excess.
Well, you should see when we got done with this addition. We had a garage full of stuff.
Sure, we need to
I
give him
remember this.
approval.
We've got a few more items that we need to do something with in the garage now, but,
We're giving you formal approval tonight to follow the
right.
policy here to get rid of this stuff.
And in response to your question, Dale, one of the things right now is we've got on Craigslist the 4 tires that we've advertised twice in the paper, and we haven't gotten any bids on those. And I mean, we've got one bid so far on Craigslist, and if they go for that price, it's not even going to pay for the 2 ads that we put in the paper, I don't think. And they're good tires.
They're good tires.
So,
Now on line 3 here, you get 2 of the same bid,
yeah.
but it goes to a resident.
Yeah,
That's-
preferential treatment to a filer resident if there's, equal bids received. And then if neither one of them are residents, or if they're both residents, then we do a blind drawing to determine who it goes to.
I remember the only thing we had left was a furnace. And guess who bought that? Was, he's dead, he just, he lives on, I don't know what road that is, Price Road, I guess. He was a truck driver, what was his name?
I don't know.
Oh, hell, you know. His wife-
Bill
Bill
Daniels?
Daniels.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I remember Alvin calling me up and he says, can we let that go for this price? I said, Alvin, that's the only bid we got.
Yeah. Okay, are you looking for a motion then to?
Motion to give you
Isn't this
the-
already in place?
Well,
I'll make a
after
motion.
formal approval of the board and under your super.
Okay.
You.
Okay.
We do the unwanted equipment.
So this was approved at one time, but now it's got to be approved again for
Yeah,
me?
so
Okay,
we'll put regarding
okay,
township and fire department.
okay.
Well, you don't need no motion for that.
You need a motion? I'll make the motion if you need it.
Yeah, let's.
I'll second it then.
Okay, motion by Kalinowski, second by Williams to approve the Charter Township of Filer disposal of the equipment policy.
Now we're voting here, we have to wait for Tom.
Yeah. Any other discussion on that, Tom? Motion was just made to approve this disposal of the equipment policy.
Nothing.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item B is consideration of approval of the presented resolution, Portage Lake Channel repairs. And I guess we kind of discussed that earlier a little bit. And I know some of you were at the meeting on Wednesday last week where it was discussed also. So if there's no questions on that or no discussion on that, I would entertain a motion for approval of that resolution.
I'll also move.
I'll second it.
Are we only sending it to Rick Snyder and the Corps of Engineers?
Help me out.
Rob Carson?
No. Can't think of his name. He's in charge of the...
Nipper,
No, he's in charge of the...
Ken Falk.
Ken Falk. Ken Falk talked about this plan a little bit, gave some information on it. And basically, the bottom line was that if we didn't adopt this resolution and we had some kind of a hazard, natural hazard like we had in 08 with all the storm caused in 08, we would not be able to receive any federal funding to help us out. So my take on that was pass the resolution. So
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution.
I'll second it.
Motion by Cruz, second by Skiera to approve the presented hazard mitigation plan adoption resolution. Shirley, go ahead and call the roll.
Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Wojciechowski,
Yes.
Skiera,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Paul, yes, Cruz.
Yes.
Public comment. Betty, you're the only public left.
You're sticking out with us.
I'm not talking.
Are you around me, Dave?
No comment, Betty? Keith? No? Okay. Any other business to come before the board tonight? Tom?
No, I think everything looks good so far.
Okay. Ed?
No.
Ruth?
No.
I have nothing else. Shirley?
No, we got another big item in there.
Underneath the tree, a lot of bottles. They're all in there.
Meetings and stuff.
How high do you guys intend to trim that up?
I don't know.
A couple feet maybe?